independent film Outrage won the Best Sci-Fi Movie in the Cannes Film Festival. The movie hit Philippine theaters over the weekend and is set to have a week-long Hollywood run beginning September 3. Here's a sneak peek at Outrage, which is directed by Filipino-American Ace Cruz.
For Christine Bourne, nothing could bring about more terror than the thought of going home.
Remember what I told you about what happened?
You mean when you were 10, right?
This is the place I fear the most.
And now, that journey into fear itself will become a reality.
Let's get this party started. It says in the Bible, all men are born evil. Some will learn to be good, some just ain't.
Outrage, fear.
There's no escape. You'll get what you came. Shut up!
With everything to live for.
Come on!
Get out of here, Christine!
I'll be a good little girl.
She will take the ultimate risk to be freed from her haunting past.
Look, they're desperate men!
Where's the money?
They killed my husband.
Untie me!
Michael Madsen of Sin City.
I am the Lord. You're God.
Michael Berryman, The Devil's Rejects. And Natasha Leon from 13.
This is not your lucky day.
Please, help me.
Goodbye.
Outrage. Born in terror.
Let the games begin.
We are now joined in the studio by director Ace Cruz and Hollywood actor Michael Madsen, who takes top billing in the film. Guys, good morning. Thank you so much for visiting us here at Mornings at ANC.
It's great to be here.
Welcome to the Philippines.
Thank you. I wish I could stick around for a few more months, and I feel so welcome here. It's like a second home to me now.
Wonderful, wonderful. I've actually read some of the great things that you've said about the Filipino people, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. First, we'll talk about the movie, but actually, even before that, can I just say, dun, dun,
Trojan,
dun,
right.
dun, dun.
He went to USC.
Went to USC, and Ace graduated filmmaking from
right.
from
You're both
USC.
wearing blue.
All right,
That's
there
right,
you go.
that's why we're-
Great minds think alike. How's that? High five. All right. All right, guys. Well, you guys are in the country to promote Outrage. This is
Right.
your sixth film,
Right.
direct. Tell us about, we saw a little bit of the trailer there. Tell us about that. It's about some kids kind of whose vacation takes a scary turn.
Yeah, the overall story is about some kids going to a mountain house and they get attacked by a bad guy and then they escape and then they're being chased around in the woods. But my overall message of the movie is really about the law of attraction. And it's a story about letting go of anger and how you can manage it and how you can manifest it away from your part of your being. So, I mean, it's really, my story is a spiritual healer comes and teaches our heroine, Christine, that the reason why you're having all these bad things happening to you is because you have too much anger that was stored to you in childhood. In order for you to let that go, so Mother Nature or God, in a sense, will take care of all the bad things, you have to let go of your anger. That's the overall message of the movie.
Is that something that you guys both subscribe to, Michael? Is that something that you believe in as well?
It's an anger management lesson. A lesson in anger management. I had been here 2 years ago. I made a picture with Ciro Santiago, a famous Filipino director. And so when I met Ace, you know, and he's only the second Filipino director that I ever heard of. And ironically, I got to come back and visit because of the film I made with him. And I just think he has an interesting vision of things, and I'd like to form some kind of alliance or some sort of new company with us together, so we can make some co-productions together between America and Manila and with the Filipino film culture.
Judging from the response that you guys have been getting for Outrage, I think that's has a very bright future and big potential to do so.
Well, thanks to Ernesto Escalar, who paid for my flight over here. He's a great man. He's an entrepreneur and has a good vision for forming some sort of film community, some sort of symposium or something we could do. and to help young filmmakers get going.
Now, you've worked with Ace, and you mentioned also having worked with Sirio in the past couple years ago.
I did the last film with Ciro, the last one before he passed away. It was called Road Raiders.
What is it? Do they have a commonality as far as directing is concerned that you can kind of see?
Oh, well, I think, you know, there's a calmness about them and a decisiveness. I think the last thing you need in a director is indecisive motions on a set. But I only had a couple of days for Ace, and I wish that I would have had, you know, a couple of weeks where he could have the kind of budget that some of the other filmmakers I've worked with have had. And I think he could do some pretty outrageously good films.
Speaking of some of the films that you've had, one of my favorites there being Free Willy, because I remember very much enjoying that movie.
I was the dad in Free Willy 1 and Free Willy 2. I guess people tend to forget that. They only tend to remember me gunning people or
That's right.
doing some nefarious thing, but I've also been the father in Free Willy. That's true.
Been that compassionate character.
Well,
the shot there with you and the gun kind of scared me. I'm glad you didn't bring that over this morning.
No, I didn't feel like bringing any guns on the set would be a great idea.
All right. Well, I mean,
I
speaking
can't
of your
even get a concealed weapons permit. So
speaking of your character here in
nothing in here.
Here in Outrage. Oh no, this is just we're just pretending.
It's props, you know.
Yeah.
You know, actors on talk shows. Always pretend to take a sip, you know.
Well,
here's what
I
really
think they actually. Oh no, that's it. You just totally blown the lid off of our set. I'll tell you something else.
Yeah.
There's really nothing behind that either. There's nothing behind that cabinet either. I know. I fooled you, huh? Anyways, really quick.
Good necklace, though.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's killer.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. Well, I wanted to put on something special because I knew you guys were going to be on the show this morning.
Dressed up for us. That's. Wow.
Yeah, these are rare occasions. But anyways,
I bet these guys have seen you dressed up before.
Which guys?
All this crew.
Oh, very rarely. I don't know.
They're used to it, huh?
They're used to it. I don't know. Try to throw them for a spin sometimes. Give them a nice little bright necklace sometimes. Well, your character, as you mentioned before, you've been the compassionate dad figure, father figure, but in this film, there's a little bit more anger with anger management.
Well, I was definitely hired to be the threat, the antagonist, I think they call it. But I was okay with it because it's a good story. You know, I draw the line somewhere. I don't like to. There's certain things I won't do as far as playing a bad guy is concerned. But I think his message about getting over anger was something I would lend myself to. Instead of just being a bad guy in a movie about something bad, you know, there has to be, sooner or later, if you've made as many pictures as I've had, you gotta have some kind of conscience about what you do and get involved in something a little bit more.
Yeah, I really just started noticing that, you know, Michael really has a soft side of him that can play the good guy. You know, when I got to become friends with him, and I can see his emotions, and he can really just play the good guy. So I'm creating a story for him for my next picture where he's the good guy, because he's always been playing the bad guy. Because I always saw him as the bad guy, so I figured, okay, he'd be perfect for the bad guy character in my movie.
Then why did you electrocute me at the end of the movie?
Because I always thought he was a bad guy. And then so, the law of attraction.
Couldn't I just wake up in the woods and change my mind about being a bad person?
Well, you never know. Maybe in the
Just left me dead in the woods.
Maybe in the sequel, the electricity bill didn't really work as well. So maybe nothing really happened. Who knows?
That's a really good idea.
You never know, right? I mean, you guys are going to be working together for a while.
Genius of your country.
Michael, you've got such a very colorful, charming personality.
Do I?
Yeah. A little birdie told us earlier this morning that you seem to have charmed some famous Hollywood actresses as well, namely Julia Roberts. Can we ask you about that?
Well, I'm not so sure she'd be real happy about me
Oh no, can we not
going
ask?
on about that, but it was a long, long time ago. A very, very long time ago. Yeah.
All right. Well,
And besides, I'm friends with her brother, so I have to be a gentleman.
that's right. All right. All right. Well, I'll segue. I'll segue a little bit more over to your background, Ace. One of the earlier films that you did also had a little bit of both. Had Judy Ann Santos and also some American actors. Also, how is that? How do you think that helps promote, as far as Philippine cinema is concerned, and really push, also push the Philippine industry
Well,
forward?
you know, I came here as an actor. Alfie Lorenzo brought me from the U.S. after I graduating from USC. I went to the theater school and the film school. That's why I have both aspects in understanding actors and also understanding the technical side of directing a film.